Okay, we had a kids' TV show back in the 90s, back in the 80s called Going Live.
What?
Yeah. It was a kids' TV program hosted by Philip Schofield.
Hey, Nev, do you see that?
It had like puppets.
Oh, it's
and
not
all
on.
sorts.
Dude,
What's
there's some scary freaking puppets, right? I can kind of understand why people are afraid of puppets.
Yeah, Going Live was Roland Rat, Kevin the Mole,
General Kenobi.
How? I don't know. Do you think something like that would that work?
What?
Because you just mentioned puppets. I'm just wondering, would a Star Wars puppet show work?
Oh, absolutely. Star Wars is a puppet show. I mean,
would puppets work? Yeah, but would it be?
I mean,
would it be? Yeah, but there's two types of puppets. Would it be
like the Kermit style puppet?
Would it be Jim Henson type puppets, or would it be Team America type puppets?
Oh,
marionette type puppets?
It would be it would be Jim Henson. But how awesome would it be if it were Team America? That would be hilarious. Hilarious. Anyways, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of GAC. This is our Sunday night edition. This is where Nev reams me a new one about not knowing how to play, and I rely entirely on you guys. Which is, I mean, that's what I do anyways. But today specifically, we are going to talk entirely about all the rumors that have been coming out when it comes to Star Wars. And there are a ton. I am very, very excited for this. I've already made one video. I've recorded and posted another. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to give you my thoughts on why the J.J. Abrams cut won't work. And I'm very excited. So I've edited it, I've posted it, I've just got to do all like the whole back end of YouTube stuff. But I'm very excited for it. But like, there's a ton of rumors out there. And today we're going to talk about them while playing GAC.
More rumors than you can shake a stick at.
Oh my gosh.
No, we're not playing GAC. The viewers are playing GAC.
Well,
so just to let everybody in chat know, you are in charge of Thaddeus's GAC. He's not in charge of it. You tell him what to do. He does it. Yeah,
and okay? I will do my best to actually listen and read. Because the biggest complaint that I get is I'm not reading enough. Specifically, yes, Rusty Jason is the person who accuses me of this. And I think validly so. I make the mistake of getting very excited and then just spacing the reading part of things. So, Nev, where do you want to start off with this?
Well, you start off because you've probably heard more rumor. You've either heard or read more rumors than me. I know about the episode 9 J.J. Abrams cut rumor. I know about the Rian Johnson.
Oh my
rumor,
gosh!
And I know about the most important rumor of all, that Kathleen Kennedy is on her way out. And based on business stuff that has happened recently, we are going to speculate as to why that is occurring and what could potentially happen over the next few weeks and months if what we think is going to happen actually plays out.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. There's so much. Okay. So let's talk about Rian Johnson first. Okay. So
I don't put any stock in this rumor at all.
Of course not. So, hold on. Let me send a message to... so I'm in a new guild. So I'm still in my We With Lives. My ballas. Very excited about that. But I'm bringing up, baby, a second account, as I've mentioned in the past. And I've joined with the 7th Fleet, which is just perfect. Run DMV actually hooked me. He invited me to his, and then we just completed a merger, and so now. But I would invite them if anyone's interested, because they were talking about all these rumors as well, and so, like, I'd love to get additional insight and other people talking about that. Yeah, absolutely. So if anyone wants to join my live stream I'm playing GAC and Talking Rumors. I don't know where to put the link. Parentheses.
Oh, come on.
That's what she said.
Unbelievable.
Okay. So, first off, before we get into it too much, let me show you my opponent. This is Irina. I don't entirely remember. See, I don't understand her name. But Jedi Master Luke and Rey. Guess which two GLs are right up front? Rey and Jedi Master Luke. That's going to be fun for me. And then we've got all these other things. So, yeah, enjoyable, right? Now, the rumor is, I don't remember who the actual... oh, and by the way, Nev and everyone else, check this out. I'm in first place. This is all you guys.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that you might actually get a 3-0?
I might get a 3-0.
Are they full clears?
Yeah, no. They're not, because that first one. So
just a regular triple, no triple whammy then.
Yeah, no triple whammy. That first one was the random one, right?
I thought the first one was an auto deploy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, auto deploy. It was randomly selected. But it was selected with C up top. Mm-hmm. Right? And so I wasn't able to fully clear this. Yesterday was a huge win. Like, it was epic. I was so excited. I didn't beat him with grace, and I barely won. Right? Had I not gotten the final had I done it strategically, I would have been able to beat this guy without winning ships at all, I think. Or no, without winning my second ships. All I would have had to do is win the first one. But I wasn't proficient enough. I didn't have the right numbers. And so it was interesting. But this time, yeah. But it was awesome. It was huge. It was... Irina we're going into, and let's take a look just real quick. Up top, they've got a lot of fairly easy wins, I think. We've got the Geos. I mean, they're Relic 5, Relic 4 Geos.
What's your Night Sister? What's your Treya sitting at?
My Treya is
Relic?
She's Gear 12, but the other two are Relic.
Oh, you should be
yeah. It shouldn't be a huge issue.
It shouldn't be a huge issue.
Yeah, and then I've got a G12 Newt with what's that? A G12. The redheaded evil chick from the Winter Falcon and Soldier, or Falcon and Winter Soldier. Yeah, so that's not super hype, but what's scary is down here. It's this Rolo and Fuzzy Hat Han and Lando. That's the team right here in the bottom that scares the ever-living crap out of me. Just kidding. It's the two. It's the people she's sandwiched between. Jedi Master Luke with a 7-star Jedi Knight Luke, which sucks, and a 5-star or Relic 5 Obi-Wan Kenobi. Old Ben. And then above that, I've got Rey and Finn and Poe. That's gonna suck. So, Rusty Jason says, Jedi Knight Revan lead, Gas, and Thrawn versus Rey. Okay. Now, lead, Gas, and Thrawn. Okay. Rusty Jason, before we jump into this, I'm going to hold this. You give me some directions here. Because here's the thing. Ryan Johnson was recently doing an interview. And someone asked, the interviewee asked, do you want to do a Mandalorian episode? And he said, I would love to. I'm dying to do a Mandalorian episode, but time will not permit it at the moment. He's just finishing writing Knives Out 2, which I mean, Nev, did you see Knives Out 1?
No, I don't. I don't rate him as a director, so I just don't bother watching anything he does.
Oh, well, that makes sense. I liked Knives Out 1. I did. I thought it was fun. I really enjoyed it, to be honest. I don't understand why he tells people that he tweaks things at the end so that people aren't expecting stuff. Because I totally, at the end of it, I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I expected. You butthole. Okay, so Ray's been a butthole. So, hold on, can I stun Finn and Poe? Are they stunnable? Are these guys stunnable? They can't be critically hit. Higher than a starting value. Looper was overrated. Yeah, Looper was. I don't know. That didn't work at all.
Yeah, I watched Looper and thought, nah. I mean, Bruce Willis can usually save an action movie, no matter how bad the script is. But on that occasion, he wasn't like the main. He wasn't the lead in it. He was like, it was split between him and the. Who was the actor playing the younger version of him?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, right?
That's it. Yeah. So the movie was kind of an even split between Willis and Levitt. So
ballsack.
Because I mean, don't get me wrong. There are bad movies out there that can be rescued if you've got an incredible cast.
Sure.
That they just can. Actors sometimes have the ability to.
That was painful. Sorry, keep going, Nev. Keep going.
Yeah. But no. I have no interest in watching. I mean, there are good directors and there are good actors that I won't watch.
Sure.
And before I will add to that there are some great actors who I won't watch.
Really?
I don't like them as people. But I can appreciate that
they're good actors.
That they're good actors. That they're good at the job. So the two things aren't mutually exclusive.
Sure.
A person can be great at what they do. A person can be incredible at what they do. But they can be a not particularly
flaming
good
D-bag.
person.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just because they're a person that I don't like or think is a bad person.
Sure.
I can't take away from that person that they're a great actor or a great actress or a great director or I mean, for goodness sake, I had I had a plumber doing I had a plumber do some work for me once, and the guy was, oh my god, the guy was annoying. He wouldn't shut up, and I'm like, dude, you're annoying the crap out of me.
But was he a good plumber? Yeah.
But he was a good plumber. He did a really good job. So I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Thank you for a good job. Now get the fuck out of the house, please.
Yeah.
Because your incessant talking and the stuff that you talk about is complete and utter crap. And I completely disagree with you. But he was a great plumber. And he fixed the the leak in the joint under my sink like that brilliantly. And I'm like, oh, you know what? You're a great plumber, but you're a garbage human being. And here's the thing: would I have called him again? Absolutely. To do plumbing, not to have a conversation with me.
Yeah. So Rusty Jason says that the dude from American Gods drank in his pub, and now he can't watch American Gods because he sees that guy. See, I can separate the two. And for me, my example, my absolute example of like an actor that I disagree with as a person but love his work is Alec Baldwin. I don't like Alec Baldwin as a person, right? But here's the thing. 30 Rock is amazing.
God, yeah. He was brilliant in that.
It is such a good show. But here's the thing though. I don't have a personal interaction with Alec Baldwin, right? And I never will, which I'm happy about, right? Like, and that's fine. Like he can have his opinion and he can do his thing. and I'm going to keep enjoying the ever-living crap out of 30 Rock, right?
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of people hate Chevy Chase, right? And I sit back and I'm like, okay, Christmas isn't Christmas without, Christmas Vacation.
No, it isn't. It just isn't.
And I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna watch Christmas Vacation all the time because I think it's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, it's a tradition. It's just like watching Die Hard.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah, and people really don't like Pedro Pascal, right? Because of some of the tweets he said. But he does a great job as the voice of Din Djarin.
Yeah,
right?
no, I mean, it's funny you should mention Alec Baldwin, actually. I don't like his I don't like his politics.
Sure.
But I wouldn't go as far as to say that he's like not a nice person. And the reason why I won't go that far is because during perfect example, during Occupy Wall Street, he was a New Yorker. He lived in New York.
Yeah.
Immediately after the whole thing went once it all went away.
Yeah.
And the various different factions at Zuccotti Park buggered off. He was one of the first people out cleaning that crap up.
Yeah.
He personally went to Zuccotti Park and helped clean up. He could have donated money. He could have, given. He could have paid for people to go. No, he went to Zuccotti Park and he cleaned up the mess himself when he did not have to. And that made me think, you know what? There is a human being inside that man. He doesn't like where he lives to look like complete and utter crap, and he's prepared to roll up his sleeves.
Yeah.
And get down with regular people and clean up crap.
Yeah, and I think actually you've said that to me before. Hold on, who am I going up against? Let's choose the Night Sisters. But yeah, like I can like the book that came out. It was Justina Ireland. She's the author of one of these High Republic books that everyone's hating, by the way. And she said some really inflammatory things. The book she wrote, which is meant for a younger audience, isn't terrible, right? It's if you were to look at the old canon, it's one of those like old canon Star Wars books that you're like, okay, this isn't bad, but because it's Star Wars, I'm gonna give it a pass, right? That's kind of how I feel about it, minus like those random bits that are so weirdly un-Star Wars that are frustrating, but minus that stuff, like to me, it was a fine one, right? And I understand this is the one that has like The Rock and the Jedi sex and right and yeah, and like I understand why people are upset by that. I really do. Where is my? Oh, I put him on defense. I was feeling. I wanted to try some different defenses out because I kept feeling like I was letting you down, Nev, by using the same defenses over and over again. So I threw in Phasma on defense. Not that I think she's going to hold, but just for kicks and giggles.
Kicks and giggles.
Yeah, so let's go with Galactic Republic. Let's see. Oh, because I left Shock and the clones. I have Shock T and all of my clones available. I'm very excited about this. No idea where to use them, but let's come down here real quick. So we've got Rolo. I'm going to use maybe a Sith team. Who else do I have on the Sith? But anyways, like this is a really interesting thing for me because like and transitioning from Justina Ireland, the High Republic, this is what I was talking about yesterday with these new books. So Del Rey is publishing or is reprinting right now 6 old canon books titled The Essential Legends Stories.
Because they don't refer to it as the extended universe. They refer to it as legends. They recategorized everything as legends.
Yes. But the ones that they're reproducing, the ones that they're pulling out, are the essential legends, which I think is absolutely fascinating. This is
titles there.
Let me bring them up real quick. I had them
just so that we can talk about them, because I might not necessarily have read them all. I mean,
So-
Heir to the Empire. Yeah, I mean, I've got a signed 20th edition copy, for goodness sake.
Yeah. So on a side note, I'm going to use Slacker until someone stops me on Ray. Boop doo. Just because kicks and giggles, my friends. Let me use that one. But so right now it's the Darth Bane duology. So Path of Destruction, Rule of Two. You've got the Thrawn trilogy. But it says Heir to the Empire, Dark Force Rising.
Yeah.
So then
you've got to remember. Is it Last Command?
Yeah, Last Command.
Last Command. Yeah, Last Command. Yeah.
Yeah. So Last Command, but they say those two are the ones that are coming out this year, and then probably Last Command we'll see next year.
Yeah. They've got to complete the trilogy. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you've got Star Wars X-Wing. But specifically, Rogue Squadron. Then you've got Darth Plagueis and Shatterpoint. Okay?
Yeah. Doing Rogue Squadron is perfect because it sets you off on the series.
Yeah, okay. So
sets you off on the series.
That's the point, right? That's the whole point. Like, because the series is coming out is the Rogue One series. Or is the Rogue Squadron series. Not the Rogue One.
See, that gives me the warm fuzzies, because people will read that book and they'll finish it, and then it'll be like, what? There's a whole series of X-Wing books, and then people will go out and buy and they will read them, and then they'll be like, oh my god, is this what the movie's going to be about? Oh my god,
exactly.
This is totally awesome.
Exactly the point. Like
using the source material to make the movie and poo-pooing the rumor that they're going to do it somewhere between A New Hope and Empire.
So I think that what we're going to see, oh balls, he's dead. He's totally dead.
Is he?
That sucked. This is what I get for not paying attention. Okay, kicks and giggles. I'm throwing in some Jawas. I feel like I've already lost this one, and so I'm gonna lose big.
Oh, no triple for Thaddeus.
Well, we don't know. This person could just not show up. Which is, fingers crossed, what they do.
Very, very rare people don't turn up. I mean, I've seen it. I've reported it. I have reported it.
I don't...
Stone had it happen to him. Stone had it happen to him in Division 3 for all 3 rounds.
That's
he had
insane.
No shows for round 1, 2, and 3 in a single week, and when I reported that, I was like, "Seriously, mate? Not one singular?"
Yeah,
not one single opponent turned up.
I mean, that's ridiculous. Here we go. Yeah. So lose big or go home, and so who knows? I might actually be able to pull this out. That's what she said. But like with where were we talking? What were we talking about?
X-Wing.
Rogue Squadron. Yeah, so this is a huge deal simply because, like, Rogue Squadron's coming out. What else is coming out? I've got these other books listed. We've got Droid Story, Bad Batch, obviously, Book of Boba Fett. We've got Visions, Lando, the Rangers of the New Republic, Ahsoka, Acolyte, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Andor, Rogue Squadron, Mando 3. All of those are coming out. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Rebels. So all those are coming out. The fact that we're getting Rogue Squadron and the books being re-released, I think is a huge, like, hey, just so you know. Like, it's
the bean counters want the metrics.
Yeah, it's, what do they call it? Vertical alignment, vertical synergy, where companies and different groups kind of...
They want the metrics. They want to know how popular the extended universe still is. If those books make absolute killings being sold, the bean counters at Lucasfilm are going to be like, okay, these are fans, right? I mean, for goodness sake, I own 3 different copies of The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
I've got it on Laserdisc, I've got it in 4:3, and I've got it in widescreen.
You have it on Laserdisc?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I don't know.
Yeah, hang on.
I didn't know anyone still had Laserdiscs.
See that behind Thrawn?
Yeah.
The pom-pom Thrawn? That's the Laserdisc version of Empire.
Nice.
So, if you know, I'm not going to go out and buy these new re-releases because they're going to charge too much for them.
Sure.
But if I saw it in a thrift store, even though I still own it, I'd still get it.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
I would totally get it. So, you know, there are people who will collect versions.
Yeah.
They just do. I mean, all right, and I'll give you another one. I've got Vector Prime twice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've got the hardback version and the paperback version. I've got that in 2 cases. I've got the paperback version and the hardback version of episode 3.
Wow.
Because I'm a collector.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People will go and they're like, "Oh, well, I'm okay with this because this is who I am as a person, right? Like I'm going to continue to buy these books because I like them, right? Mm-hmm. But also because I'm a collector. It's what I like to do, you know? Ooh.
I collect the things I like, and I don't collect the things I don't like.
Yeah.
Which is why there is nothing, with the exception of one book. I'm not joking. With the exception of one book, there is no sequel trilogy stuff on any of my shelves.
What book is it?
It is the Before the Awakening.
Is it the one with the 3 stories in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the triple story book before the Force Awakens. It's the story, because I'm like, I got that right because I didn't get episode 7. It's like, okay, so I need some blanks need filling in for me here. So that was the book to fill in the blanks, and I didn't like the blank. I didn't like the blanks.
The blanks they filled in. Yeah. So here's the thing. Like I went through and I've got most of those books either on audio or digital copy, with like the sequel trilogy. But I've purchased the ones that I really like here behind me, with a few exceptions. I've still most of the ones I've read, or most of the ones I've purchased in behind me, are ones that I really enjoy. Some of them are ones that I'm just like, man, it's here, and I've got a few extra bucks, right? And most of them, I will say, I've paid full price for. With a few exceptions of the older Star Wars stuff, I've had to find secondhand. But like most of them, I've paid full price for, and
everything on my shelf is secondhand.
Yeah, but like again, I live in a place that people just the moment these stores open up, there's hundreds of people that just like flood in. I say hundreds, there's dozens, and they flood in and they steal the good stuff, and they go online and they sell it for twice the price, and it's how a lot of people in this area make a living. Of the new canon books, the question is, of the new canon books, which ones should I read? That depends on where your fandom lies. There are no Old Republic, so you can totally just shoot that out. What would it be? Okay.
What do you mean there's no Old Republic?
In the new canon.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And then in the new canon, there's no Old Republic. And so the new, you've got the High Republic, but that's, I mean, don't.
It's not Old Republic enough.
Yeah, it's not Old Republic enough. Nor is it, in my mind, good enough.
If it was Old Republic, they would have just called it the Old Republic. They wouldn't have called it the High Republic.
High Republic. Can I win Grand Arena with Stormtrooper Han, Luke Skywalker Farm Boy, and Legendary Chewbacca? I'm going to give it a try. If you like Star Wars Rebels, A New Dawn is a really good show. It's a really good book. It introduces Kanan Jarrus and Hera, and it's the first time they meet. And it's this, like, very much a back and forth, like, will they, won't they? And you know that they totally will. And you're like, oh, you're playing coy, but we know you're going to hook up, right? All right. On a side note, I'm going with Farm Boy Luke, Gear 9, Stormtrooper Han, Gear 9, Chewbacca, Relic 12. Or Relic 6. This will be fun.
You do you.
I will. At least send in a better team to take it down. Okay, good point. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send up a fluffer team, if you will, of Ewoks.
A fluffer team.
I mean, that's the best way to describe it.
Interesting metaphor.
I know, right? And if they win, I'll be angry but happy at the same time. So anyways, New Republic, or not New Republic, you've got, if you like the new stuff, if you like new canon, so this absolutely did not work for me. The Ewoks. Woo! Ooh, this was rough.
Could have told you that.
Well, I had faith in my Ewoks, man. And maybe I shouldn't, but I do. Rage Bagel. Awesome. So where was I? Ewoks. Okay, so new canon books, if you like the new stuff, there's a book called Bloodline. And it's more of the political aspect of things. It's when Leia is trying to join or kind of like run the New Republic, right? So what else asked? How are Ewoks a better team than Han, Luke, and Chewie? I'm gonna say because morally upstanding. They're not a better team.
They're not morally upstanding. They eat the victim.
Okay, speaking of that, I saw a meme today, and it said, "How did the Ewoks have a dress in Leia's size if they hadn't already killed and eaten someone who was Leia's size?" That is a very good question. So anyways, so Bloodline is in Legacy of the Force, but it's slightly different. So this is an example of how they've taken a concept from, and I don't know if Bloodline and Legacy of the Force is the exact same, but this one specifically looks at how Leia is working with the New Republic, and it gets leaked that her daddy was Darth Vader. And all of a sudden, like, all of her credibility is just washed across the galaxy. It's actually a really interesting story. There's a lot of really good ones. Let me bring up my list of canon real quick. But canon novels. Obviously, Thrawn. You will never go wrong with a Thrawn book, like, period. They're amazing. This goes off on everything. I love Wikipedia, but there's so much here. Let's see. I'm finding myself in a sinkhole with this Newt team. CLS? I mean, I feel like CLS is too good for a Newt team. Sith Lords was a good one. It's a one-off where you see Vader and Palpatine working together to kill bugs, essentially. It's a really interesting one. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go balls to the wall.
Just to let Rusty Jason know, the Bloodlines was the second book in the Legacy of the Force series.
CLS.
So it wasn't Bloodline, it was Bloodlines, and it was the second book in the Legacy of the Force series.
Let's see. All of the Thrawn books are amazing. If you want to learn more about the Princess Amidala's network of handmaidens, Queen Shadow is actually a really interesting one. I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, ballsack.
It's actually one of the ones I don't have.
It's a really interesting story because it also sets up for what we see in, what do you call it? In the comic books, where Padme, or one of Padme's handmaidens, ends up working with Darth Vader to find out who killed Padme. Which, ironically, was Darth Vader. I mean, yeah, it's a fun story. Let me bring this up. Here we are.
Yeah, Rusty Jason, I've got 5 of them on the shelf behind me. I've got 5 of them. I've got Tempest, Revelation, Fury, Exile, and Inferno. I'm missing 4.
So I just brought them up. Inferno Squad's really good if you like the story of Iden Versio. The Aftermath trilogy, amazing. There's a droid, if you like droids that are like super sarcastic and fun, there's a droid in Aftermath called Mr. Bones. He is a B1 battle droid who has like bones like draped around him, and he's just happy to kill and murder. And it's really a good story. There's 3 of them. It was written by Chuck Wendig.
Yeah.
It's a great story.
Let's avoid that name.
So I don't know what he did.
He's not a very nice human being.
That's what I hear.
He has, openly derided and insulted and cast some major aspersions. It's just, yeah. We're not just talking about insults. We're talking, wishing harm upon other human beings. And, I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on,
That's
what
true.
your ideology is. If you wish harm on other people, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, and I agree to that. So, having said that, though, the Aftermath series is one of the better Star Wars new canon novels. Like, yes, I mean, that's bad. Period. I 100% agree with you. But let's go ahead and take that off. But it is a great story. Additionally, by people who may not be terrible human beings, the Victory's Prize story is actually a really interesting one. It's after the Fall of Endor. It's after the Battle of Endor and Jakku. A group of random kind of pilots have been put together, and I say Victory's Price. This is part of the Alphabet Squadron collective group series, and it's awesome. Like, it's really good. Let's see, who am I doing? I'm doing Night Sisters.
If the Rogue Squadron book series takes off, the Alphabet Squadron's going to be a figment of people's imagination.
I mean, it's done
because people are going to read that. People are going to read that because you've got to remember that Rogue Squadron series is also after the Battle of Endor, and people are going to read those. If anybody's read the Alphabet Squadron first, and then they go and read the Rogue Squadron series, they're going to look at the Rogue Squadron series and go, why isn't this canon again? Can someone explain to me why these books and why these stories and why these battles aren't canon anymore? Because they're great.
Yeah. So of all old canon, the Rogue series is ones that I haven't read. And I haven't because I struggle with like ships and like the Imperial Navy. That was something that I kind of, you know, it was hard for me. It was hard for me to get into. And so as much as I liked, and I really did like the Alphabet Squadron series. The first book's really good. The second book is so let's if you have, what's the one? If you're looking at Die Hard 2, right? And you're like, oh, Die Hard 2, not a great movie, right?
No, not a good movie.
It's not. But then you compare Die Hard 2 to like Die Hard 5, and you're like, okay, maybe I was a little too hard on Die Hard 2. You know, that's what Die Hard, that's what Alphabet Squadron Book 2 is. It's Die Hard 2 after realizing that there might not be better stuff out there.
Sorry, which Die Hard were you saying?
Whatever, 5. There's at least 5 of them. There's
so hang on. So you've got Die Hard
1,
Die
2,
Hard
and 3.
2, Die Harder. Then you've got 3, Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Where we are introduced with, what do you mean, which is all right? We're introduced to Mace Windu.
Yes.
Mace Windu as a cab driver in New York City. I mean,
yeah. It's like the opposite of Star Trek, whereas the even number movies are good and the odd number ones are bad. In Die Hard, it's the odd ones are good and the even ones.
Yeah. So Die Hard with a Vengeance was the last good Die Hard movie. Then there was Die Hard 4. I think Die Another Day. No, that's
I think it was Die Hard.
Live Free or Die Hard.
Live Free or Die Hard.
Live Free or Die Hard. Now that wasn't terrible. Which is also interesting because we come into another Star Wars. Cobb Vanth is the main bad guy.
Yeah.
Right? He's the main bad guy in that one. And so, you know, you're dealing with Cobb Vanth and, you know, he's a villain. Which then, obviously, he flies over to Tatooine, totally changes his life, you know, becomes not so bad. Die Hard 5 essentially was terrible. Not essentially. It was terrible. Like, it was just a really bad movie. A Good Day to Die Hard. I feel like that was the commercial. There's a commercial going on right now with Bruce Willis. For car batteries.
For car batteries.
Right. But they're the Die Hard car batteries, and it all works. It all connects. Who am I going against? These guys. Let us do who do I have there? Boom. Bounty Hunters. All right, this is what I'm going to do. Boba, Django, and Zam Wessel. Because why not? I wished I would have seen that earlier, but I did not. So, anyways, let's take that off. Oh, no, that was the wrong one. Gotta love when I make major mistakes like that. What was I saying? Die Hard. Okay, the Victory's Price, which is the third book in the Alphabet Squadron, really kind of brings it back. Like it's a fun story, but also it kind of it exonerates a lot of the frustration that you feel in book 2. There's a lot of really, in my mind, really enjoyable storylines in that. So it makes up for it. Book 2's frustrating, but the third one really kind of brings it all back together. I'm always distracted by books, man, because in my mind, a book typically is way better on all occasions than the movies or TV shows. And if we were to do it right, what we would do is we wouldn't have movies per se. We would have miniseries, right? Like telenovelas, and where you just get
like V.
I see. Was V a tele? I thought it was just canceled.
No. V was a miniseries. V was a,
was it?
The book V got made into a miniseries.
Okay, I thought it was just canceled. Like
I've got the book.
Okay, I haven't read it and I didn't see it. But again, the idea is like you have an opportunity to tell a much longer story than you would in a movie. And this, and I know I'm going to piss like half of you off. And I know I'm going to piss Nev off when I say this. The rumor, J.J. Abrams is going to make there's going to be a 4-hour J.J. Abrams cut.
I won't watch it. I'm not interested.
And I don't think a lot of people are. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people are. And I understand that, okay? So V was what else says? V was 2 miniseries originally. Awesome ones from the 80s. Then there was 1 season for a TV show.
Yeah, there was 1 season of the TV show after because the miniseries was so good.
Yeah.
They made a
one-off TV show.
Miniseries. Yeah,
okay.
They made it. Yeah.
So
because the thing is the book gives you a conclusion.
Oh, does it?
The book gives you a conclusion. The miniseries doesn't.
Okay. And that can be really frustrating to people. But here's the thing. Same thing with like It, right? Now we have these movies that people are willing to wait 2 years between, and so they'll watch. Let's see they'll watch one and then they'll be like, oh, I'll spend 4 hours watching It Part 1 and then I'll wait for 2 years and watch It Part 2 and everything will be great. And again, it's a 4-hour movie. The idea behind miniseries versus if you look at Stephen King in like the 90s, most of his books were turned into miniseries and not movies because a movie cuts off so much. And so
The Stand was awesome.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Gary Sinise, forget about it. The
Stand was just the Stand was awesome.
Oh, so as
it didn't hurt that it had a bloody good cast though.
Oh my gosh,
it didn't hurt that it had a good cast.
So have you seen the new one?
No, I haven't. I am going to watch it though.
Yeah.
I have heard conflicting reviews on it. But because I like the book and I like the original miniseries, I need to watch it so I can form an opinion of it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I love the book. I've said this. I'm in Utah, and I have a hard time driving the canyons of Utah without feeling like I'm in a Stephen King movie, specifically The Stand or like The Gunslinger, anything.
Maximum Overdrive.
Oh my gosh! Well, yes, because people here don't know how to drive. I feel like that's people everywhere, but I mean, I live near
humans here.
I live near 3 college towns.
Here. Humans here.
If I was Rusty Jason. First off, let me answer the other question. Okay, final. I have gotten way off topic.
Yeah, because we need to get back to Star Wars.
Okay, the one book that where's my camera? The one book that I absolutely recommend everyone read in Star Wars, Master and Apprentice, written by Claudia Gray. Oh no, so Claudia Gray was the one that introduced the geode. So don't hold that against her, okay? So I'm going to hold that against.
No.
don't let that stop you from reading Master and Apprentice. Master and Apprentice is a phenomenal book. Like, hands down, one of my favorite Star Wars books of the new canon. Right now, it's always Thrawn. Thrawn is up there, but he is... it's hard to beat Thrawn, right? But Master and Apprentice is when Obi-Wan Kenobi and Qui-Gon Jinn are first together. And Obi-Wan is like a reckless youth until he meets Qui-Gon. Or he's a great youth until his master originally, like, until he gets a master. And then he sees Qui-Gon and he's like, oh, this guy's all shady and doesn't follow I'm going to be a little rebellious. He's still Obi-Wan, so keep that in mind. It's not like he's so rebellious that it's like it's character altering. It's not by any means. It's still Obi-Wan. But what's interesting about it is, let's see. Let me look at this up real quick. It introduces it's just great. I can't say enough good things about it without potentially spoiling it. It's a phenomenal book. Like, hands down, one of my favorite of the new canon. And there's quite... I'm looking at this list right here. I have read maybe all of them, but like 2. And let's see. I read... yeah. No, I've read all of them. No, Force Collector. I have it. I've not read it. But yeah, I've read all of them, but 1. Having said that, I recently found a guy, and I'm gonna say it. I'm in love with him. I am in love with this man's work. His name is Jonathan Maberry. Okay, not Mayberry, Maberry. Not only does he have an affinity for Hawaiian shirts, which I madly appreciate, let's do this. He's a great author. I first came into understanding him is he has this book series called the Joe Ledger series, and the way that I explain it is, imagine that Seth McFarlane is a former Army Ranger / Baltimore detective / zombie hunter. And Bob's your uncle. That's the first book, at least. So it's about this guy who is this former Army Ranger. He's a Baltimore PD detective, and as he uncovers a plot by a pharmaceutical company who has hired a probably picked the wrong one there. But a terrorist cell to create a zombie virus. and obviously the terrorist cell gets out of hand and whatever. But it is hands down one of my favorite book series. And so, like, each book follows this guy and the military, the government organization that he's a part of, the Department of Military Sciences. And it's just fascinating. Like, I've loved it so far. But then he also has a book series called Dust and Decay. And it's a zombie series that takes place. It's in the same world as this Joe Ledger series. But it's a zombie series that, because this he's like a horror writer, or at least a monster type writer. He worked with George A. Romero. Okay.
The Godfather of Zombies.
The Godfather of Zombies. And Romero said, hey, just know that I consider this book, or this series, the unofficial start of my zombie series. So if you like zombie stories, then this one it's great. Like his entire storyline is just wonderful. But like each book that the zombie one is kind of like periodic. You know, you've got what's the word I'm looking for? It's episodic, right? Because it's a zombie book, it can't take tons of time. So it's not a lot of time that takes place in between like book 1 and book 2 and book 3. It goes pretty quickly. But it is I've loved it. I absolutely love it. And then on top of everything, that same zombie story has like a kids version. So for like young adult readers, that takes one of the kids in the stories and like makes him a main character. It's really well done. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. Now, outside of this random author who I just happened to find randomly, the series by none other than Stephen King, The Dark Tower. Now, there was a movie that was made about it, and it was terrible. You're
talking about the Idris Elba one?
The Idris Elba one with Matthew McConaughey. And here's the thing. It wasn't bad casting at all.
No, Idris Elba's badass.
It was a bad story. Yeah. Bad
both
storytelling.
Both excellent actors.
Yeah. The director... Oh my gosh. Whoever directed that it was bad. Absolutely bad. But the books are phenomenal. There's 8 of them. I defy you. I am willing to bet that you cannot read that entire series without breaking down and crying because of the development of the characters. It is so effing good. So good. It's one of the few books that is incredibly inappropriate for... I say incredibly inappropriate. The book series as a whole is not appropriate for like young adults. But the first book's kind of okay, and I keep it in my classroom because it's amazing. It is so good. Love it. But those two are my hands down my favorite. I listen to The Dark Tower or reread The Dark Tower, like a different book of The Dark Tower, like once a year. That's how much I love it. So effing good. Okay, now, Star Wars. Kathy Kennedy is on her way out.
Oh yes. Yay.
Let's just hit it. We've been dancing around this for an hour. Let's go with that.
Let's address the elephant in the room.
Okay, Nev, take us away.
Okay, so we know that there are rumors that Kathleen Kennedy is out and she's going to be replaced. And obviously these are just rumors at the moment. But what I think adds to that rumor is the fact that we've got extended universe. We've got extended universe old canon books coming out.
Yes.
I genuinely believe that the reason why these books are coming out is because the bean counters at Disney, at Lucasfilm, they really want to know just if it's her that's not making money or if it's just Star Wars that's not making money. So she got her High Republic and it didn't make a lot of money.
Correct.
And I think that the bean counters at Lucasfilm are like, well, let's re-release a bunch of books that Star Wars fans have already bought and see how well they sell. So new cover, different size fonts, and there's a bunch of them. And if they sell either the same as or more than the High Republic, the bean counters at Lucasfilm and Disney, the higher ups are going to be like, we don't need her.
Yeah.
She's not making us money.
Yeah.
So let's get rid of her and replace her with somebody that could make us money. Because the stuff that she's championing isn't making us money. So let's put someone in the hot seat that is going to make us money, a la Jon Favreau.
Yep.
And putting Jon Favreau in charge puts everything back on track. The Favreau-Filoni-verse from Star Wars, that everything is then immediately back on track. No delays for anything. With Jon Favreau overseeing everything as the executive producer and Dave Filoni overseeing everything as the creative director. And I just think, I think it's a good financial fit, and that's why I think that these books are coming out, because there's no rhyme or reason why, other than the X-Wing series coming out. Well, there's going to be an X-Wing movie, so let's put out the X-Wing. Let's put out the Rogue Squadron book.
Yeah.
And see if anybody likes the Rogue Squadron book, and if they like it, then they'll stick around and wait for the movie.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. So I do genuinely think that the bean counters are just testing the water, and then obviously if she does get ousted, and Jon Favreau gets put in place, everything is then back on track. The Rangers of the New Republic will be back on track. Book of Boba will be back on track. Mandalorian 3 will be back on track. Ahsoka, everything will be back on track, because John will be straight on the blower to straight on the phone to Gina, to say, look, ignore everything that happened before.
Yeah,
you're my girl.
Exactly.
You are going. I need you for the Book of Boba, in order to set you up for Rangers of the New Republic.
Yeah. So and here's the funny and or awesome thing about that. Gina Carano was quoted. Someone was asking her about Comic-Cons, right? Something to that extent. And this was recently, and her response was, well, just give it some time. So here's the thing, and this is the most important thing. Kathleen Kennedy's, her contract ends in August, right? If they just don't renew it, or if they give her a different position or promote her or whatever, what will happen is there will be an interim president. There will be someone who fills the gap, right? And so someone has to fill that gap. If she's out, right? If she's done, then the response is, like you said, everything that Jon Favreau's doing stays on track. There's no delay. There's nothing, right? We know that the Book of Boba Fett is mostly done, mostly done shooting. Like they're working on it now. I can't remember exactly what it is, but they should be done probably over the next couple of weeks, to be honest. Hey, I got that thing. But anyways, so the Book of Boba Fett is potentially coming out. Not potentially. We know it's coming out in December. But if she's out in August, they wouldn't even have to rush, right? They could start filming September, October, right? Do everything they need to do, and still have a late 2022 launch date, or even a summer 2022 launch date. Right, they wouldn't have to do anything different with Rangers of the New Republic. I mean, I love the idea of Hera coming in, but that's more of I'm curious to see how Jason Syndulla, not Solo, Jason Syndulla shows up, because he's going to.
We did briefly talk about this and touch on this. In that Cara Dune is a grunt. She's a foot soldier. She's the one that's going to be in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Hera is a general. She is she's in the rear with all the gear. She's echelon. She is command and control structure. You do not. In all of the Star Wars movies, I mean, you don't see, that the main star isn't the general. Yeah, it's the grunt. It's the grunts. The movies are always about the grunts. It's never about the command and control. It's always about the grunts, and the immediate officers and the superiors. I mean, look, Rogue One's a perfect example of that. I mean, we got a few scenes of the leadership,
but that's it.
And then that was it. So if they were to introduce the character Hera Syndulla into the TV series, and I'm not adverse to that, I think she's a great character. I think it would be great to see her
as as a general, as part of the command structure. I think it would be a great introduction. But she's not going to be the star of the show.
So
she's not. I mean, even during the latter end of Rebels, when she was in it less and less and less.
Yeah,
and they're all about Ezra. Ezra was Commander Richard. He was the hero role.
He was the hero.
He was the hero role during the those latter ones, because Hera had become command and control. And that's what Cara Dune is. I mean, she was only a marshal at the end of that, but I'm damn sure that when they bring her back for Rangers of the New Republic, she's going to have some kind of rank. I mean, whether it's a captain or a commander or a lieutenant, she's going to have that lower tier rank status in order to command the troops that are immediately under the Rangers that are immediately underneath her. But that's the way that'll work.
Yeah,
because she will be back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Now here's
I said that to you when the very first day that we were talking about and going over the fact that she wasn't fired because she wasn't being. We discussed this, and I said it's not going to make any difference. A bit of time goes past. When they need her, she'll come back and do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Half a dozen people on Twitter are not going to stop the bean counters at Lucasfilm wanting to make money.
No, and the reaction that was received with Luke Skywalker in the final scene of season 3, I mean, that shows you the fandom, right? Mm-hmm. If you look at everything that's come out, like there are some real issues with a lot of the stuff that's come out under this new movement, right? And the one thing that is universally loved is The Mandalorian. It is Jon Favreau's work and Dave Filoni, and it has only gotten better, right? Star Wars Rebels, when it first came out, like think about that. That was shortly after Lucas said, "Hey, look, all of this stuff no longer canon." Star Wars Rebels is a beloved show. Maybe not to the same level as Clone Wars, but it is up there. Star Wars Resistance, not so much, right? And again, Jon Favreau was only working as like an executive producer. He wasn't behind the scenes telling the Resistance story, right? But he was directly connected to telling the story of Ezra Bridger, of the Phoenix crew. And I think it's a matter of storytelling. That's really all it comes down to. It has nothing to do with like if Kathleen Kennedy came out and said, "Hey, this is the story we're going to tell. It's in keeping," or even if it's not in keeping and it's a solid story, you still wouldn't have as many people upset. The fact is, it's not a solid story, and it throws all of Star Wars canon in the face of those people who've loved it for years, right? You can't do both of those things, right?
Nope.
You could do one of them and maybe get away with the other, or vice versa. Tell a bad story, but it's totally in keeping with Star Wars, or tell an amazing story and kind of just disregard stuff. Like, you're still going to have people that hate it either way. But it wouldn't have the backlash that we have now. Okay? And again, like Nev said, it's all going to come down to money. Right? Other rumors, like, if you look at the Disney World, right? Disney World's the only one that's open right now. But a lot of people are not going to Star Wars Land. They're not spending the money that Disney invested in this. On top of the $4 billion, they're not spending the money and getting a lot. They're still getting money back. There's still like stuff that people are excited to participate with. But it's just not the same, right? And the rumor is that on top of this new hotel that's coming in, they're going to make some major changes to the park. Right? And and part of the major changes that they're making to the park, and that's their moneymaker. Because, I mean, if you've ever been to Disney, I mean, it's fun. Like, it really is, it's an enjoyable experience. It's also the most frustrating experience you'll ever have in your entire life. But it's fun. Like, it is a fun experience. And if, like, when I went just before everything got shut down, we went out to Disneyland, and it was really cool going on these rides and spending time in Star Wars Land. But it was the least busy of all the lands. Right? Like, I was able to get on all of those rides the week the Force Awakens, the new ride came out. I got on 3 days in a row every single time. That is kind of unheard of in my mind. I like, it just seems like that shouldn't have been real. But it was. And it was my experience. Now I'm sure I'm reading way too much into this. But it really sounds like, you know, like they're moving away from the sequel trilogy and investing way heavier into what we see from Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. And that is the rumor that it's holy crap, hold on, Nev, what? I might win. I don't want to jinx myself. Hold on.
Okay, holding on.
But like, it's if they do go back and they say, hey, we're gonna invest in, we're gonna do Cara Dune now for Disneyland, or we're gonna invest in Mandoverse, and you're gonna see a little baby Yoda appear, walking around or being pushed. Oh crap! Well, it was worth a shot. Now everyone's dead. I was so close.
Well, I just wondered why you keep on going for Rey when you should have been trying to go for the other one.
Because at this point, it's a matter of pride. Here we go. Oh man, Yoda. And hold on, light sign. Jedi. I don't know. Do I want to use all Jedi? But like, that's the thing. If they do start investing in something else this soon after, it's going to be something like the Mando, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, would just have to be. I'm doing it. I'm just going. I'm not at this point. I'm not even like really paying that much attention. If I win, it's going to be a shocker for all of us. Let's see. Oh, ballsack. Oh. No, I should kill little Poe over here. Except that's not going to work. Anyways, like it's a huge thing. And again, it has nothing to do with like these politics or this other stuff. It all comes down to money. If Disney is not recuperating their money, they're not going to keep fighting this. They're not going to keep worrying about this. This is not something they're going to invest in because it's not worth it. Right?
No.
And
the shareholders have already made their feelings perfectly clear.
Oh yeah.
Regarding this.
Yeah. Again, I point out that shareholder meeting of like the 6 people who asked questions, 6, there were 5, not 5. There were 2 that were specific to Kathleen Kennedy and her face, Cara Dune, right? Mm-hmm. That's huge because you don't have a ton of questions like that. You don't answer that few questions without. Oh my gosh. It's not the way that works.
Yeah, that's how you get things done. You become a shareholder,
right? And if you're that upset with it, and keep in mind that if you're getting that many questions about this, those shareholders are pissed, You know, it's not a, oh, well, maybe they're kind of upset. No, they're very upset. and the fact that, oh my gosh, no! So close every time. I'm so close. Anyways, like that's a lot. And as you and I have discussed, Bob Iger isn't going to be like, oh, Kathleen Kennedy, she's terrible, to the people who were paying his salary.
No.
They're not going to do it. He's not going to do it. He's a smarter man than that. He's running the most powerful company in the world.
One of them, yeah, definitely.
You know, and yeah, he's. I'm doing this. I'm going full in. Let's do this. I feel like that's probably not a smart move. But yeah, like.
Have you even gone for the other territory yet?
Oh, I've defeated the top row, man. Yeah, like, I can't go to the bottom row until I've killed these guys up front. But yeah, so here I'm bringing in Wampa right there. Basti, Yoda, and Wampa. I feel like that's a legit thing. But yeah, like there are some issues here, and people are upset by it. If I was gonna say if victory, 24 points. I only used Wampa once, but I feel like it was worth it. I think the Wampa scared Rey because internally she was like, oh, he's cute and fuzzy, and I don't want to kill something cute and fuzzy. And then he's like, rip off an arm. And she died. Okay, so where else was I going with that?
I don't know. You keep going off.
Hold on.
Tangents.
I got my tangent alert button on. What? Okay, where else was I? Okay, so Kathleen Kennedy, the rumor is that not only is she on her way out, but that the leak that came out a week ago was planted by people in the Kathleen Kennedy camp. So the leak was what was it? Well, they were
JJ director's.
It introduced the JJ director's cut. It introduced a few other like kind of things, and it said, oh, you know, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni and Kathleen Kennedy have all worked well together, and everyone loves each other, and it doesn't seem to be in keeping with the way that we've heard about her, right? The rumors that we've heard about her. Now, again, they're all rumors, you know? Like, it could be... None of this could be true, and Kathleen Kennedy could be a wonderful person, right? And even if all these rumors are true, she still may be a wonderful person. I have no idea. But, like...
Just look at the way she conducts herself during interviews and roundtables and stuff like that.
Yeah, like
go back to the round table. Go back to the round table that was about the Mandalorian, and you've got Dave Filoni discussing and talking about things, and
it was all the directors.
Yeah, it was all the directors, and Kathleen Kennedy just wants to be. It's like I'm the boss, so I want to be the person that's heard the most.
Yeah.
It's like that's not what a round table is about. If it was a rectangle table and you were sat at the head of it, then that's exactly what that would be the expectation.
Yeah.
Because it's a meeting and everybody's down the sides and you're sat at the head of the table. So
sure.
People are to listen to you. That's the whole purpose of that type of a table. But at a round table, it's supposed to be equal all around. Everybody's voices is heard. Voice is equal and heard.
Yeah.
But it just seems that whenever there's a sit down, it's all I'm the boss, I'm in charge, so it must be my voice that's heard. And it's like, well, you know, when you're having a discussion, a creative discussion, it's like
you can't do that.
You don't see, like, for example, when they had those multiple interviews, those MCU multiple interviews, you didn't see Kevin Feige trying to take over the discussion or the interviews or the meetings.
Yeah.
He was more, I'm going to take a step back and I'm just going to let all my stars, all my creatives, you know, make me look good. That's what you're supposed to do as an executive producer. Yeah.
You trust the person who you've hired to do the job. Right? Mm-hmm. Sorry, totally interrupted. Could keep going.
No, that was it.
Okay. It was a perfect time to interrupt then. But no, I think that, again, the timing for all of this is very suspect because, again, her contract is up. They have a lot of this stuff planned out. Rumors are that John Favreau has been going to the heads of state over there at Disney and saying, hey, I kind of want to use Cara Dune for this, right? Now, the rumor that was coming out was he was presenting not an alternative to what she could be, but this is what I want to use now that she's gone, kind of a thing, if that makes sense. But if that's the case, what it sounds like is he's just saying, hey, look, this is what I had planned, right? This is how it's in keeping. This is, and that's, if that's the case, if he's going to those higher ups and saying, look, this was my plan for the future here. You gave me all of the creative control over these projects. We know that she's had her creative control removed from everything but the Acolyte, and it even sounds like that's starting to wane a little bit. Now, I gotta say, that Acolyte, totally Darth Plagueis. I don't care. They're revamping Darth Plagueis. That's all it is. And that is why the Acolyte, that's why that book list is so important. The Acolyte takes place 100 years, more or less, before, or starts 100 years, more or less, before the fall of the Empire, or before the fall of the Republic, right? What Acolyte would have been around that time? Plagueis, Darth Tenebris. Like, it would have been all of those people who are connected to the rise of Palpatine. Mm-hmm. And if it were a 2 season, 3 season, 5 season, it would get to the point where Palpatine is in power, right? Now, one of the other leaks, which I absolutely hope is true, although it's totally not, I 100% guarantee it's probably not. Mace Windu lives.
Yeah.
Mace Windu was the Jedi who saves Grogu from the Jedi Temple. That's the rumor. Now,
I don't put any stock in that one. I really don't put any stock in that one. The next rumor that I put any stock in is it's another adding to the rumor that Favreau's in and Kennedy is out, is that Warner Brothers have been sniffing around Favreau.
You take the one person who's been making Disney money away from Disney.
Yeah.
You better believe they're gonna start looking for ways.
Yeah, they'll be like, okay, how do we lock Jon Favreau in for the next 10 years? You make him executive producer for Lucasfilm.
You give him control. You give him control back.
You give him sole control of Lucasfilm. That stops him going to Warner Brothers.
Yep.
Warner Brothers needs Warner Brothers needs a Kevin Feige at the moment. There's just nobody out there. There's just nobody. The DCEU is just so all over the place and fragmented at the moment, and it's annoying. It pisses me off because I'm a bigger DC fan than a Marvel fan.
Yeah.
And it really irks me that Warner Brothers have not got their act together regarding regarding that. It really, really annoys the crap out of me.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, and again, that's the thing. That's the leverage that Favreau needs to say, look, this is my baby. This is what I've created. Yeah, maybe I didn't realize the power that Grogu was going to have, but it has it. Maybe I didn't realize, I mean, if everything that he did was a fluke, which we know that it's not, and we know that it's not because we look at his other work, right? Like, and keep in mind that Jon Favreau hasn't just kind of worked with Disney. Jon Favreau, his career is spotted throughout Disney. Some of his major successes are Disney. Like, remember, what's that one movie? Iron Man? How he created the MCU? I mean, he was crucial in that. And it's, oh my gosh, I love the idea of this. Now, again, it's a rumor. I think we could see a lot of stuff. Now, May the 4th is just a few days away. How wonderful would it be for Star Wars fans if on May the 4th they're like, hey, Kathleen Kennedy, she's going to step down. Or she just says, hey, you know what? I've had a good run. And I'm being promoted to this thing that has nothing to do with you, Star Wars fans. And I'm moving to a different aspect of whatever, right? I'm going to be head honcho for trash collection at Lucasfilm. And I'm keeping my salary. And because I know where all the bodies are buried, I'm not going to have to do any actual work. But
she's you see, here's the thing. Her and JJ are going to go off and do their own thing.
Let them.
Her and JJ are going to go off and do their own thing, and it's going to be a complete and utter flop because it's going to be her and JJ that are just 100% in charge of it, and they're going to do things that the 1% of the 1% of Twitter want, and when the 1% of the 1% of what Twitter wants gets delivered, they're going to be like, why is nobody buying our product? It's like, because you're catering to the 1% of the 1% of Twitter.
Yeah.
That's why you're not making any money. You're catering to the smallest demographic out there.
Agreed.
Yeah, they're not going to make any money.
Yeah. On a side note, Rusty Jason says she can't be a wonderful person because she sacked my future wife. I've got to say, I read that as wife. And I was like, dude, she fired someone that you were married to? That's crazy. And then it put together. I was like, oh, you're talking about Gina Carano. Oh, I'm slow. Right. But I think that there's so much potential here with these rumors, and I think that we could see some major changes coming soon, like May the 4th soon, right?
Be nice to get some good news on May the 4th.
Oh, wouldn't it? And again, man, I honestly think that it's going to be something around that line. We're gonna see something, and I think it's not gonna be a small something. I think it's gonna be a big something. Why did I use that?
You've got to do something big on. You got to do something big on Star Wars Day. You have to.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it just, it just needs to be something good for all, all Star Wars, for all Star Wars fans. Not just the fandom menace.
Yeah.
Not just the people that oppose the fandom menace. It needs to be something universally accepted by everybody. Another thing as well, new leadership. When you get new leadership at the top, it tends to trickle down underneath. So like for example, there's somebody at Lucasfilm that there was someone at Lucasfilm that made the ludicrous statement that Rian Johnson should direct an episode of The Mandalorian just to annoy fans. Now, someone working at Lucasfilm saying that person should be hired to do something to upset consumers of my product
should be fired.
Yeah, because what they're doing goes counter to, it's detrimental to that would be like that would be like a manager of a Walmart saying, let's sell this product to upset our customers.
Yes.
And they always use fans. They always use a fan is not just a fan. A fan is a customer and a consumer.
Yeah.
If you are in the business of making products to sell to people, and you're saying, let's make something that's going to piss off some of our customers.
Not a smart move.
It's detrimental to the bottom line, and HR should be going, your services are no longer required. You are trying to hurt our bottom line. Your job is to make products that our customers want to purchase, not make products that are going to antagonize our customers. People like that, John Favreau would instantly come in and be like, right, okay,
you're fired.
No, it wouldn't be. I don't actually think decisions like that would be down to Favreau. Decisions like that would be down to HR. Somebody new would be put in charge of human resources, and they would be given strict instructions. Right, from now on, our employees are not to antagonize or berate our customers.
So
there will be no more of this fan and that fan. They are
just
all
fans.
Customers. They are all consumers. We want to make things that will keep as many of our customers and consumers happy and continuing to hand over money for our product.
Yes.
That's the way they need to look at it. They need to think of it from a monetary perspective.
Yeah, absolutely, 100% agree.
Yeah, Rusty, that Lucasfilm does not know how to treat its customers and its consumers well. They do not. Yes, here's the thing: not all fans are customers, and not all customers are fans.
Yeah, that's
so. But you've got and Lucasfilm's job is to provide a good product for its customers. It just so happens that regarding Star Wars intellectual property, that the biggest consumers, the alpha consumers, are fans.
Mm-hmm.
So you take care of the customers, and the fan base is happy.
Yeah.
You don't take care of the customers, and the fan base is not happy. Because the fan base will be like, well, I'm still a fan of Star Wars, but I'm not going to be your customer. You see that there's that very, very mild deviation. I am a fan of Star Wars, okay, but I will not buy certain Star Wars products. Because I don't want those. So I don't want sequel trilogy products. I'm still a Star Wars fan, but I am not a customer of those products. If Star Wars made products I wanted, I'm still a fan,
sure.
But I then become a better customer and a bigger consumer of their products. If you've got people saying, let's make something that the customers aren't going to like, that is like, seriously, dude, what's your problem? If you're a Harley, if you're a manager of a Harley Davidson, I mean, what's the motorcycle that Harley Davidson ate? Let's say hypothetically it's Kawasaki. Okay, so there's a manager of a Harley Davidson shop, and it's like, let's piss off our customers. Let's get rid of half the Harley Davidsons in the store, and we'll replace them with Kawasaki's. That'll piss off some of our customers, won't it?
Yeah.
Be like, but why would you do that? We want to sell Harleys.
No.
We want to sell Kawasaki's.
We want to anger people, and that's the issue. Like, if you're doing anything just to piss someone off, you're probably in the wrong here.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, for anyone who's here just now, who's either now joining us or is here for the first time and wondering what I am doing,
you've got us on the big screen now.
Oh yeah, I did. I've made the change here because now I'm just throwing the kitchen sink. I don't actually care if I win this, because there's no way that I'm going to beat Jedi Master Luke. I can't do it. So I'm going to lose big, and I'm going to just auto all of this while we talk Star Wars.
Or go home?
Well, it's been a while since I've had a huge loss, right? And I'm going to make them work for killing this Dark Trooper. But you're right. I mean, if you're doing something just to piss off fans, and I want to say arguably, I don't think that's what they've been doing. But the suggestion that people that there's people at Lucasfilm that are making that suggestion, it's wrong, right? You're wrong-headed, and you should clearly be let go.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, here's the thing. You know, so probably see it on the camera. Some stuff I got from the thrift store.
Yeah.
I got this book from the thrift store, right? I got this book from the thrift store, and I got this lightsaber from the thrift store. Okay. Now, while I was at the thrift store, there was a model, and you can see it on the camera. You can see it on the camera behind me. It's a Kanan Jarrus right here. Okay. At that same thrift store, for $2, I could have purchased a Rey, but I didn't. $2. It was $2. I could have bought it, and I could have thrown it on my shelf. I don't want to buy that product.
Yeah.
I do not want to buy that product. I am a Star Wars fan, and there was a dirt cheap Star Wars product that would have made my shelf look, interesting.
Fuller.
I don't want it. There's no sequel trilogy stuff on my shelf.
Yeah. No.
Because I don't want, because I don't want to buy that product. Lucasfilm needs to make stuff I want to buy, even if I'm buying it secondhand.
No, I 100% agree. I'm slightly different than the NEV because I like aspects of the sequel trilogy. There are quite a few things about the sequel trilogy that I really enjoy, but I hands down, and you'll see this tomorrow in my video about why I don't think the Abrams cut would make any sense, because they'd have to do so much to it. I like Rey. I like the idea of Rey. I think the portrayal of Rey is wrong. I think the introduction of... Not the introduction. I think
portrayal. What was... Oh, hang on. I think you mean the execution of the character.
It was?
Yeah, the execution of the character. The idea of the character in principle, it's a sound idea. The execution of the character, just doesn't make any sense, and that's why she's not as thought of as fondly as a Leia, or a Hera, or a Mon Mothma, or an Ahsoka, or a Cara Dune, or all manner of other, all other.
Yeah.
There are certain characters whose character arcs have poor execution, and Rey is one of those characters whose character arc was extremely poorly executed, like so bad that it split an entire fandom as to whether she is or is not a good character.
Yeah.
And the people that like that Rey are, the majority of the people that like that character are unaware of, not deliberately, but are unaware of the plethora of other characters that are available that were executed correctly.
Yeah. Now, I won't necessarily accuse ignorance of everyone, but again, I think it was just done wrong, right? And part of it, and I look at it from a story perspective, right? I mean, I spend most of my day talking to kids about the story arc, right? Basic things that a story needs to have to be a functional story. And the elements, many of those elements are missing from this overall arc, right? As I agree and believe 100%, the sequel trilogy can be fixed, but it cannot be fixed with an 4-hour Abrams cut. It's not enough. It wouldn't be enough. There would need to be way more than what they've done. If you also look at what's frustrating about it as well is if you look at the actual the stories that have come out, they haven't been telling, with a few exceptions, stories about Rey. They haven't been writing books about Rey. They haven't been writing books about Finn or Poe. We get a handful over the last 5 years, right? But
here's one for you.
But they're all children's books.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. That's the problem. And again, I love Star Wars movies and Star Wars canon and the lore behind so much of this. But it's just not good storytelling. Not the sequel trilogy. There are good stories within the sequel trilogy that have been told, but they have not been executed on either the big screen or the small screen, with the exception of the Filoniverse. And it all comes back, no mercy, thank you for the follow. It all comes back to the idea that they didn't do a good enough job, or it all comes back to the idea of money. If Disney is not making money, if the people that are in the higher ups who are not making, they're not making money for Disney, they're not going to be higher ups for that much longer, right?
Yeah, the executives, the board, the shareholders, their dividends are not going to be as high as they should be.
Yeah.
And ultimately, each year, as if that dividend check keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, they're going to be like, yeah, okay,
I'm out. I'll go invest somewhere else.
I'm out. Big sell-offs of shares from shareholders drives down the value and the price of a company, and it does.
Absolutely. And again, it's just so frustrating because there's so much potential, Do I still have Jawas left? There's so much potential here that it's just they just go over it. Now, like I said, I am a fan of new canon. There's a lot of new canon stories, books, comics. I love Rebels. I've enjoyed the Resistance TV show. I didn't think it was good, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, And if their goal is to make just fun, kind of pointless, no story type TV, they hit the mark. It was really all right, fine. But that's not what Star Wars as an overall whole is. And they need to make good on that overall whole, right? Otherwise, why continue to do it? And again, if they're not making money, Disney's not going to keep moving forward with it. It doesn't make any sense for them to keep moving forward with something that they're not making money. And the fact that they're pouring money into this hotel experience at Disney World and not seeing, money come back in the sense of profit from Disney, the Lucas Park, or from Star Wars Park, that's an issue. That is a huge issue that needs to be rectified soon. And I think with the firing or the withdrawal, the promotion, whatever you're going to call it, of Kathleen Kennedy, possibly in the near future, I think we're going to start to see a change. And if she is let go or removed, and again, she could be whatever. Lots of things could happen to her. And by that, I want to make this clear. When I say lots of things could happen to her, I mean career-wise. I do not wish harm on anybody. And while I disagree with Kathleen Kennedy and her, I would never want any fan or anyone to do something stupid. That's ridiculous. But she could be moved. The leak that we've been talking about, the video from DVD Overlord DVD, and other Reddit users.
The future ruler of planet Earth.
I know.
Show some respect.
Is it Dictor or Victor?
I think it's Victor Von Doom.
See, I think it's with a D. Dictor von Doomcock?
I don't know. I'd have to do a search.
Yeah.
I just think of him. It's just Doomcock.
I mean, he's the future overlord of Earth. I mean,
he's the future ruler of the planet Earth. You know,
so
you
we
might
do need
to
to
getting his name right. If
that's
if you don't want to be smited by him,
smitten.
Should he ever take over the world?
I mean, it sounds like he is. I mean, that's the thing. But like, assuming that his sources are accurate, and they're all rumors, right? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who have sources. I'm not one of them.
Yeah, but he got a lot right with episode 9.
Yeah, he did. He absolutely did.
Every single one of his predictions was so on the money.
Which means it's likely that he has someone on the inside.
It's likely he's got someone reliable, yeah.
Yeah. And so with that, you've got to think, well, if he's producing legit rumors, like if he has these rumors that are on their way out, or that she's on her way out, I think there is some potential that she could be, right? And again, whether she's promoted into the company that's not public facing or whatever, there's a lot of potential. So what else says all of the stuff was being presented by him last summer? A lot of it was, but what we're seeing now is more immediacy. Like it's not the same as what we saw last summer. But again, I think there's a lot of potential in the future. I've got to keep saying this because, and it's not just something I say to myself to make myself feel better. I think the future of Star Wars is bright. I absolutely do. If we continue on for the next 6 years with Kennedy in charge, I think what we're going to see from Filoni and from Favreau is going to be stupendous. I think we're going to see some amazing things. I honestly just think that good stuff's coming. With that, though, we're 15 minutes away from the 2-hour mark. We have talked about a lot of stuff, and I have lost about 50 times ish. I feel like that's a good number. So 1, I didn't lose any fleet. And then down here we've got 21 plus 9, so that's 30. So 40. 34. I can't do math. I can't math. I feel like that's a respectable loss number. I mean, and over the next couple hours, I'm sure I'll go through and lose some more, but just not on screen. But anyways, Nev, is there any final thoughts you have as we wrap up?
Nah. But if you'd like to see me in a hot tub, you definitely want to tune into my Twitch channel tomorrow when I do my GAC. Because I will be doing round 3 from the hot tub, my private beach.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Unfortunately, I am at a place that does ban Twitch, so I won't be able to watch online. But good luck to you, sir. You get the free win if you hit 66 against the Jedi team. Ooh. I might give that a shot and report on it, Rusty Jason. But thank you guys for joining us tonight. Good luck in your own GACs. Good luck in your own Star Wars. If there's something that you're reading or watching or interested in, leave a comment in the section below. Remember to click the bell icon to be notified anytime a video goes live or I go live here on this channel or any of my channels. I mean, I'm streaming from YouTube, YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. So really, it's only my mom that joins me on Facebook. She's like, "Hi, sweetie." She's a wonderful lady.
Yeah, my mum jumps in on me on Twitch every now and then.
It's always fun. She's like, "I don't know what you're doing, but the Star Gangs, it's it's
Is
fun."
this that Star Trek game?
Is this that Star Trek game?
Is this that Star Trek game?
Yeah, she doesn't know, but she's a wonderful lady. Anyways, click the bell icon. Links in the section below. You can get great swag, Dank Ferrick, and Leia Poppins. So, anyways, guys, like, subscribe, share. Thank you for joining us tonight. I hope you have a great week coming up. I hope everything goes your way, unless,
It doesn't.
It doesn't, and then good luck. So, this has been Thaddeus and the Nev. And as always, my friends, remember, smile and stay... Oh, before we begin, before we quit, I'm sorry. Next Saturday... Can I announce this? A stream next Saturday?
It's your stream, so I'm guessing...
Not my stream.
What?
There's a stream next Saturday, potentially.
What's next Saturday, then?
I'll leave a comment in the sections below, okay? And then I'll let you know. Anyways, I'll stop before I get myself in trouble. Good luck, friends.
I don't even know what's next Saturday.
There you go. It's just wonderful things. Join us, as always, Thaddeus and the Nev, for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, random gaming streaming. And, as always, smile.